Boris Johnson, why don't you lock down the UK? I can probably guess that I'm going to receive quite a few negative comments on this, but this is just my logical point of view over what Boris Johnson said not so long ago. And because this is a, you could say, politically sensitive subject, YouTube is not going to monetize this. So if you'd like to support my channel, please go to the description below and you can go to Patreon and you can support me there. But let's get straight to the video. Okay, so as most of you know, in the UK, that the coronavirus has hit 590 people with a certain amount of deaths, and it seems to be getting wider. And Boris Johnson has given some practical advice so far that if you get any kind of symptoms like a constant cough or cold, go home, self-isolate yourself, and if the symptoms do get worse, then contact the NHS. Pretty good. But I think it needs to be a lot more. Now, for example, I am a British person. I have not lived in the UK for over 31 years. And here there has been 2 cases in this country so far of the coronavirus. One was a Chinese man and he recovered and he went back to China. The other one is an ongoing case and there were no deaths or things like that happening here. But what's happened is that they've sort of cancelled all the schools, universities, etc., etc. And to everywhere you go, they take your temperature. Every shop you go into, they ask you to use the hand gel and to wear a mask. And when you do get home, for example, you disinfect your shoes, you disinfect your jacket, your mobile phone, you use a disinfectant wipe on it. So you're minimizing the effect as much as possible. All this is not happening in the UK. So why is it that to prevent this horrible sickness which is going around, why don't you close the schools, close the universities, and do what China is doing and put everything online? So the students stay at home and the teachers make video classes so the studies can continue using the power of the internet. There's one. Businesses can be exactly the same. Does the person need to go to the office? If he doesn't, then, and he could work at home online, then work online. Most people do have some kind of internet kind of status. Why can't you just work at home instead of going into the office? Again, minimizing the spread. Number 2. Cancelling all big events like football matches, where there's going to be a easier spread because there's thousands of people. You don't need to have the football. These companies like the Premiership League or whatever you have in the UK now, they have billions of pounds, billions of dollars. These football players who get paid millions of pounds per year, they don't need the money. So that would be cancelled. Just like what's happening in Italy. Don't do it slowly, UK. Come on, really? Do it now. Do everything. Lock the UK down. Just like what China did. Yeah? China has a population of 1.42 billion people. In the Hubei province, in Wuhan, they locked down 60 million people. And yes, it is hard. Yes, it's tough on the economy. But surely the United Kingdom is a rich country and they can afford to do it. It all seems to be about short term and not long term. And we need to curb this. I think in America, Donald Trump has just announced that there's no flights from Europe for the next 30 days. I'm not too sure about that. I just heard it somewhere, so that's any unconfirmed report. The UK is an island, so it can contain, rather than in Europe or in America, it's a small place. So surely all these simple measures, many people will disagree with me. Many people will not be happy. And again, it all seems to be about business and making money before people's health. Boris Johnson did say there are going to be more people who will catch the coronavirus, and more people unfortunately will pass away over it, especially the elderly. That's a realistic fact, but can't we minimise it by shutting down or locking down the UK? And only go out of your house when you need to, if you have to. Again, just like in China. And the thing is, according to news reports from China, according to my Chinese friends in China, and some even in Hubei province, they have been locked down, but everything it's slowly getting back to normal. People are going to work. If you watch some of the reports from mainland China on other TV stations, for example, you can see the amount of cars on the road. It's not as blocked and as jammed as before, but it's slowly getting there, because they near enough locked down the whole of China, and people were advised and they took the advice, because health seems to be the highest concern. So I don't agree with Boris Johnson on this one. As Prime Minister, if I was in the UK, yeah, I possibly would have voted for him against the other guy, what's his name, Jeremy Corbyn. But this sort of statement, they're saying that more people are going to pass away, there's more people are going to get the coronavirus. Yes, that's true. And the advice related to staying at home if you get a cold, for example, for at least 7 days, and monitor it and see if you get worse, etc., or better. Maybe it is just a common cold, but you don't know. And again, all the banks, shops and places that we have to go to, take the temperature, use the hand sanitizer. The cruise ship industry would possibly suffer, but again, companies like Carnival UK, P&O Cruises, Cunard, etc., they have billions and billions of dollars, so they can afford to take a loss. Yes, the economy will take a hit in the short term, but there's going to be a big rebound in the future. This is just my point of view, and yeah, a little bit angry. This video is not prepared at all. It's just me expressing my thoughts, and you could say, yeah, a little bit of anger. I do apologise if I have hurt people's feelings, and they may totally disagree, and I could be totally wrong. And please give me a thumbs down for that. But if you sort of agree, yeah, then a thumbs up would be nice. And also leave some comments in the comment form below. You can say I'm a stupid idiot and I know nothing about it. But how I see in this country, with a very small percentage, a tiny percentage of what's happened, and what they've done is sort of like close the schools. One, universities are closed for 2 weeks, for example. You go into a bank, they take the temperature. I went to the dentist the other day, bam, temperature, hand sanitizer, dun 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 dun, done. And then when I get home, I take off the clothes that I have worn and put them in the wash, minimizing that the spread that could be on your phone, it could be on your clothes, and I wear a mask as well. I'm at home at the moment, so don't need to. What are your thoughts? Thank you for your time. Bye bye for now.